Welcome to my channel, The AI Governor. Today, we will explain why artificial intelligence still needs human oversight. As AI continues to completely weave its way into almost every single facet of our personal and professional lives, the conversation we're having is actually shifting. We're moving way past that initial hype of just what AI can do, and now we're grappling with what AI should do. And honestly, more importantly, who's ultimately responsible when things go wrong?
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with AI's power and imperfection. Then we'll look at risks in real-world scenarios, move into the absolute need for human oversight, and finally wrap up with responsible AI governance.
Starting us off with Section 1, AI's power and imperfection.
Now, it is incredibly tempting to look at a highly advanced machine learning model and just assume it possesses a human-like understanding of the world, right? But we really have to separate raw computing power from the concept of actual comprehension. AI is powerful. Yes, it can process data lightning fast, detect hidden patterns, and support our decision-making. But AI is not perfect. It can make mistakes, produce deeply biased results, totally misunderstand context, or even give answers that look completely correct but are actually dead wrong. In the data science world, there's a thing called overfitting. This is where an algorithm fits a little too closely to its training data, and then it just fails entirely when it's exposed to new real-world information. So a system might look incredibly smart in the lab, but in practice, without that rich, nuanced context that a human brain provides, it can fail in spectacular and sometimes, frankly, dangerous ways.
Moving on to Section 2, risks in real-world scenarios.
I mean, it's one thing if an AI recommends a terrible movie for you to watch on a Friday night. We've all been there. But what happens when we blindly follow AI in high-stakes decisions? Think about environments where an algorithmic error doesn't just mean a minor inconvenience. We're talking about situations where someone's livelihood, their financial stability, or literally their physical health is put in absolute jeopardy just because a machine lacked basic human common sense.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these dangers actually play out in documented case studies. First up, in recruiting. So, Company X wanted to fast-track hiring using AI. They trained their model on the resumes of their top-performing engineers. Sounds smart, right? Well, the AI developed a massive sampling bias. It ultimately determined that only men between the ages of 25 and 35 were the best candidates. It actively discriminated based on flawed historical data. Then, let's look at finance. Imagine Z Corporation rolling out an automated loan approval app. If that AI system decides to offer a loan when it isn't actually beneficial to the user, it completely subverts human control. That leads to severe financial harm and straight up violates the user's right to challenge that automated decision. And over in healthcare, consider Amato, a multinational health organization. They integrate AI for diagnostics and personalized treatment. If that AI hallucinates or misinterprets patient data, folks, we're no longer just talking about lost dollars. We're dealing with direct threats to patient safety and severe privacy violations. It's a real game changer and not in a good way.
Which brings us to Section 3, the need for human oversight.
We absolutely cannot just set these systems up and forget about them. This is exactly why human oversight is so important. Human oversight matters. It means people have to remain involved in reviewing, checking, and approving important AI decisions. AI supports decisions, but humans remain accountable. For instance, if AI is being used to screen those job applicants, approve loans, detect fraud, or support those major healthcare decisions, we humans must not blindly follow the AI output. Someone has to check whether the decision is fair, reasonable, and explainable. You simply need a human in the loop to look at a denied loan application or a flagged medical chart and apply that subjective human judgment that a machine just does not possess.
So the crucial point here is understanding how a human can actually oversee these incredibly complex systems. Because let's face it, you can't govern what you don't understand. To effectively oversee AI, we need two distinct characteristics that build trustworthy AI: transparency and explainability. Transparency answers the question of what happened in the system. Think of it as the record of the action. But explainability, that takes it a step further. It answers how a decision was made. If an AI denies a family a housing loan, transparency tells us the loan was denied. But explainability is what actually allows a human auditor to look under the hood and see exactly why it was denied, ensuring the logic wasn't based on some illegal or biased metric. Both of these are absolutely vital for a human to accurately judge an AI's output.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 4, Responsible AI Governance.
Hearing all these risks, you might be thinking the solution is to just unplug the AI and lock it away. But that is not the answer. Good AI governance does not mean rejecting AI. It means using AI responsibly. AI should support humans, not replace our accountability. And this brilliantly illustrates a concept called human-centric AI, or HCAI for short. Human-centric AI is deliberately designed to put humans before machines. It really marvels at the ingenuity of human beings and creates this awesome symbiotic relationship. In this model, the machine handles the massive, quantitative elements, crunching those millions of data points, while the human being handles the qualitative, subjective judgments. The key message is super simple. AI can assist the decision, but humans must remain responsible for the outcome.
To make this human-centric AI reality, organizations are adopting strict, structured practices. A great example is the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, which is broken down into 4 core functions. First, we map the risks by identifying the exact context the AI is operating in. Second, we measure its performance, actively hunting for things like bias or unintended data collection. Third, we manage those risks by actively mitigating them. This prevents stuff like model drift, which is basically when a model's performance degrades over time because the real-world data has shifted since it was first trained. And finally, we govern. This ensures regular audits are conducted to verify that the whole system operates fairly, reliably, and totally in compliance with the law.
Ultimately, responsible AI starts with responsible people. If we want to trust AI, we must govern it properly. Technology alone will not save us, but governed correctly, it can absolutely empower us. So the question you really need to ask yourself today is your organization ready to govern the intelligence it relies on?
If you found this explainer useful, please like and subscribe to the AI Governor. Your support gives me motivation to create more AI governance learning content. Thank you for watching.